Rachel Baird, and I'm joined here by Dan, who's standing in for Ed Peruta, and this is the continuation of our series on the college bribery schemes. Tonight, we are looking at Lori Loughlin, who's an actress in Hollywood, and her husband. You'll have to help me out with this one, Dan.
Mossimo Giannulli.
Mossimo Giannulli. They're married and they have two daughters, Olivia Jade and Bella. And we're using their names in this episode because their names have been in the news, and they've in fact been out in the news, especially Olivia Jade, making comments about the scandal. So we begin our story back in April of 2016, and Mossimo Giannulli,
Yep.
whom Lori, his wife, calls Moss, and so we'll call him Moss for the purpose of this episode. Moss and Lori have had a conversation with Olivia Jade's high school counselor, and they've come away from that conversation with some concerns. And basically the concerns can be summed up by Moss's comment that they don't want Olivia Jade going to Arizona State University. And I don't know why that school was picked out of the many in the United States, but basically what he was saying was, we want her to get into a school that she probably can't get into on her own merits, so can you help us, Rick Singer? Now, Rick replies that Olivia Jade's qualifications put her at the low end of the spectrum for admission to the University of Southern California. So they're going to add to the application that Olivia Jade participates in rowing as a
coxswain.
Dan, can you explain what a coxswain is?
The coxswain's responsibility in a larger boat, either a 4 or an 8, is to navigate and to kind of harness the power of the crew, keep everybody in time, and call out race strategy.
And
so
that's one of the
on-the-water coach.
That's one of the reasons we're situated in front of Bantam Lake tonight.
Right.
Because it's integral to our story. But there's other ways you can row as well, not only on the lake, but indoors.
Well, yeah, the indoor rowing on the ergometer, or the erg as it's called for short. Which,
and that'll come up later.
Yep.
As part of the scheme, Rick Singer asked Moss to get a picture of Olivia Jade on a erg. And that picture was sent to Donna Heinell, the Associate Athletic Director at the University of Southern California.
Right.
You have to excuse me because
that's where you went to school.
I went to the University of South Carolina.
Right.
And so sometimes they joke around and call that
USC
the USC of the East. So when I see USC, that's what I think of. So anyway, the father sends Rick Singer a picture of Olivia Jade on the erg, and that picture, along with Olivia Jade's application, is submitted by Donna Heinell, the Associate Athletic Director at USC, to the admissions committee, and there's a conditional admission approval. Now, based upon that conditional approval, Moss pays $50,000 to allegedly, thank you, disclaimer, Lori Loughlin and Moss
to the was it the women's?
Well, no, I was making a disclaimer. They haven't pleaded guilty. In fact, they've maintained their innocence.
Right.
Loudly in the news.
Yep.
They're saying they didn't know this was a bribery, according to the news. So we have to say these are all allegations. You know, they're innocent until proven guilty. But anyway, allegedly, Moss sends $50,000 to Donna Heinell, care of University of Southern California Athletics. And Giannulli, Moss, has a question about that. He says, you know, number one, I mailed the $50,000 off by FedEx. But number two, I'm going to Augusta with the USC Athletic Director, former Athletic Director now. Should I say anything about this or not? And CW1, Rick Singer, gets back to him immediately and says, no, I suggest you don't say anything to the Athletic Director, because I mentioned Olivia Jade last year to him and her situation, and he indicated that you were good for $1 million. To which Moss laughs in an email by writing in capital letters HAH with 3 exclamation marks. So when the formal acceptance letter for Olivia Jade came in the spring of 2017, Rick Singer asked Moss to send a check for $200,000 to the Key Worldwide Foundation, Singer's fake or scam foundation nonprofit charity, And in response, Moss got a letter from the KWF, the foundation, stating that no goods or services were exchanged for this donation. Now that's where the FBI is really going to get them, and the FBI, the U.S. Attorney, is really going to get them on wire fraud. I mean, they're wiring this money, knowing that it's for a specific purpose, getting their daughter into school, and then Rick Singer is wiring or emailing, sending by mail, indication back that the money wasn't for any goods or services exchanged, and that's really how they're going to get them. Okay, skip to the next year, because the two girls are only 1 year apart. So the younger daughter, Bella, same thing with her. They pay $50,000 to get the conditional admittance. When she is admitted, again, as a rowing crew member, a coxswain, they send $200,000 more to the Key Worldwide Foundation. Now, the only difference here is they actually offered, or they retained, a former assistant coach of soccer at USC to put together a crew profile for Bella. And part of that profile was that Bella was a coxswain for the LA Marina Club team. They got a picture of her on the erg, and they sent it in to Donna Heinel, and again, Bella was accepted to USC based on that fake athletic profile and the intervention of Donna Heinel, the former assistant coach, and Rick Singer. Loughlin sends an email after all this is done to Rick Singer and says, listen, my youngest daughter never actually submitted her application, and there's a counselor at the high school who's been asking her questions about how my older daughter got into USC when she doesn't even row. So should we at least submit an application? And Rick Singer says, I'll have my assistant do that. So Rick Singer actually submitted the application for Bella to cover all their tracks. And again, another $200,000 check was written. Total of $500,000 is alleged that Giannulli and Loughlin paid for their two girls to be admitted to USC. Now, in paragraph 217 of the affidavit, Donna Heinel leaves cooperating witness a message, leaves Rick Singer a message. But prior to that, and this is in response to that, this high school guidance counselor who's causing all the problems at Bella's school and asking questions about Olivia Jade formalizes in an email a confrontation, I guess, or an encounter that he had with Moss earlier in the day. And
number one, paragraph 196, or?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I thought it was paragraph 217. Skip to 217. There we go.
Yep.
So this is an email from the high school counselor to Moss, and the high school counselor says, I wanted to provide you with an update on the status of your younger daughter's admission offer to USC. First and foremost, they have no intention of rescinding her admission, and you were surprised to hear that was even a concern for you and your family. You can verify that with the USC Senior Assistant Director of Admissions if you would like. I also shared with the USC Senior Assistant Director of Admission that you had visited this morning and affirmed for me that your younger daughter is truly a coxswain. This is what I think happened there. I think this high school counselor was asking questions, and then Moss went to see him. And that high school counselor knows darn well that Olivia Jade didn't do crew. But something was said to that high school counselor, or something was exchanged with that high school counselor to get him to write this email saying, yes, your daughter does participate in crew. Isn't that what it sounds like?
Yeah, so certainly something doesn't sound quite right.
Yeah, it's like they shut him up somehow.
And now,
and this whole encounter and this whole exchange caused Donna Heinel to email Rick Singer the following, this is a voicemail message. Yeah.
And so, so Donna Heinel left the following voice message saying, I just want to make sure that, you know, I don't want the parents to get angry and creating any type of disturbance at the school. I just want to make sure that those students, if questioned at the school, that they respond in an appropriate way, that they are, you know, walk-on candidates in their respective sports. They're looking forward to trying out for the team and making the team when they get there, okay? That's what I just want to make sure of. So I just don't want anybody going into, you know, they're yelling at the counselors. That'll shut everything. That'll shut everything down.
Yeah, so they're doing some damage control here because people started to get suspicious. So they're circling the wagons and figuring out how to react. So on October 25th, 2018, Rick Singer, acting at the direction of law enforcement, because by this time he's been contacted by the FBI, he's been told that they know what's going on, he's been given the offer of cooperating or else, and in fact he did begin to cooperate. And so in this phone call, I'll be Rick Singer, and you're going to be...
I'm going to be Mossimo Giannulli.
I'm calling because I just want to make sure give you a heads up that, so my foundation is being audited.
Okay.
Which, as you know, is normal.
Yeah.
And so they're looking at all the payments. So they asked me about your two payments of $200,000. And of course, I'm not going to say anything about your payments going to Donna Heinel at USC to get the girls into USC through Crew. So,
sure.
That's for sure.
Right.
But what's funny, it's funny because Donna called me a couple weeks ago and says, hey, you know, going forward, can you use the same format you used for the Giannulli's older daughter and their younger daughter and the regattas that you put in there for any girls going forward that don't row Crew? So it's funny how I thought I was just making stuff up.
Right.
But they loved it. Love.
Right. Perfect.
So I just want to make sure our stories are the same because...
Yeah.
And that your $400,000 was paid to our foundation to help underserved kids.
Perfect.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're on the same page in case... Who knows if they'll call or they don't.
All right, perfect. Got it.
Rick Singer repeats the same kind of phone call, a setup phone call basically, to Lori Loughlin about a month later on November 29th, 2018. And I'll be Rick Singer, and you can be?
Lori Loughlin in this case.
The IRS audits found large foundations, and we have so much money in our foundation, and we give away so much money there, they want to, you know, they're always worried about things going on in foundations.
I see.
So what I told Moss already, and I wanted to make sure that you knew as well, if they happen to call you, is that nothing has been said about the girls, your donations helping the girls get into USC to do
okay.
Crew, even though they don't do Crew, so nothing like that has ever been mentioned. If you ever were to say anything...
So we just have to say that we made a donation to your foundation, and that's it, end of story.
That is correct.
Okay.
Terrific.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I touch base because I didn't want you...
Yeah.
To all of a sudden, what's this call coming from?
Okay, yeah, okay, totally. All right, so that's it. So that's it then. That's the IRS. It's not anyone from USC. It's just the IRS.
That is correct.
Okay, very good.
You know, given the choice, I think I would have rather heard from USC.
Right. Just the IRS.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back shortly with the next episode. Lori Loughlin is an actress who lives in Los Angeles with her husband. You'll have to help me with this one, Dan.
This is episode what? Episode 6?
I think it's 7.
7 of however many.
Right.
In the college.
Oh, I'm Rachel. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot the intro.
No.
We'll start over.
I mean, I always do. We skipped one because I thought this one was timely.
Okay. Well, you just say this is another installment.
This is episode 8.
Okay.
How to react. Okay, let's skip forward then to October 25th, 2018. As we've seen in previous episodes, Rick Singer has been contacted by the FBI. He has become a cooperating witness. And so he engages... Wait, did we skip? Did we skip some? We'll take a break here.
Mossimo?
Yeah. Does it begin on 219, right? paragraph 292. Yep, okay.
Yep.
We'll cut that out. Begin.
We just met with our older counselor.
Yeah, that's no big deal.
Okay.
Okay. It's not crucial to the storyline. Oh.